Exercise. Exercise 4. First, in the reign of Queen Elizabeth, there lived a famous Englishman named Sir Walter Raleigh. He was a gentleman of birth and a favorite with the Queen. He was a scholar, a poet, and a brave and daring soldier. He sailed to the New World, which we call America, and had many adventures there. He did two useful things. He brought back from America two plants which became very popular with the Europeans. One was tobacco, the other was potato. Before his time, the potato was unknown in Europe, but it is now one of the commonest food all over the world. He first planted potatoes in Ireland, and the potatoes became to the Ireland what wheat is to the Punjabis, and rice is to the Bengalis and the Madrasis their chief food. Question. Who was Sir Walter Raleigh? B. What is the New World? C. What were the two useful things Raleigh did? D. What is the importance of the potato? Second, in the northern part of Greece there stood a lofty mountain called Olympus. Its sides were covered with thick green woods, and it was so high that its peak seemed to pierce through the clouds, up into the sky. None of the people of Greece had climbed to the top of Mount Olympus, and they said that it was there that the gods lived. Among the clouds and the stars, the people of Greece believed that if they did anything wrong, it would displease the gods, and they would be punished by sickness or death or some other evil. But if they did what was right, the gods would be pleased and would love them and send them wealth and happiness. So they built great temples of marble, and in them they set up gold and ivory images of the gods. And there they came in times of trouble to ask for help and comfort. And when they were happy, they came to offer their thanks to the kind gods. Question. A. What, according to the people of Greece, was the abode of gods? B. What was their idea of the nature of gods? C. Why did they build temples to them? Third, according to the Greek legends, the king of the gods was Jupiter, who ruled not only the people of the earth, but the mightier people of the heavens. It was who hurled the thunderbolts and guided the winds and the waters, and in a word, ruled over all heaven and earth. His wife was Juno, the queen of heaven, who was rather selfish and jealous, and like all such people often made herself the other very unhappy. She had one great favorite, a peacock, which was always with her. Apollo was the god of the sun, of music, and of love. He was very beautiful, in fact, the fairest of them all. He drove his golden sun chariot through the heavens every day, and on his lyre he played sweet music. He would heal all kinds of wounds and could shoot wonderfully well with his golden arrows. Question. Who was the king of the gods, and what do you know of him? Who was the queen of heaven, and what do you know of her? Who was Apollo, and what do you know of him? Fourth, the central parts of Africa, there is a class of strange people called the pygmies. None of them is above 4 feet tall. They are neither white nor black, but are of chocolate color. They have a flat face with a large mouth. Their teeth are very strong. It is said that they can bite through a ball of lead. The pygmies live by hunting and fishing. They have great skill with the bows and arrows. They know many poisons and use them at the end of their arrows. They live in the midst of forests, as these forests are full of wild beasts. They do not think it safe to live on the ground, so they make their huts on pole 10 to 12 feet high. The people get into them with the help of ladder. These huts are mostly made of leaves and branches of trees. Question. Where do the pygmies live? B. Describe their appearance. C. How do they get their food? D. How and where do they make their huts? E. How do they get into them? Fifth, an emperor was told that some of his subjects in a distant province had risen in revolt against him. "Come then, my men," said he, "follow me and I shall destroy enemies." He marched against the rebels, but they submitted on his approach. All now expected that he would punish them severely, but instead of doing so, he treated them with mildness and humanity. "Sire," said their chief minister, "you promised to destroy your enemies, but we see that you have pardoned them all, and even bestowed favor upon some of them. Is this the way you keep your word?" "I promised," replied the emperor, "to destroy my enemies, but these men are no longer my enemies. I have made friends with them, so my promise has not been broken." Like this emperor, we should also overcome evil with good and turn enemies into friends like kindness. Questions. What was the promise of the emperor? What did the chief minister say? How did the emperor justify him? What lesson should we learn from this story? 6. A young lad was passing along a lane in Benares. He had some fruits in his hands. A number of monkeys followed him. Soon they became so bold that they tried to snatch away the fruits. The lad began to run in fear. This only made the monkeys bolder still. They ran after the lad and were about to fall upon him. Just then the lad heard a voice. "Don't run, my boy. This only puts you in great danger. Face the monkeys and they will stop." Looking up, the lad saw a sannyasi close by. He took heart and turned around to face the monkeys. They stopped at once. He moved a few steps towards them and they fell back. He then walked on with bold steps through the monkeys. They fell back still more and then went away. The lesson went deep into the lad's mind. In after times, the lad became famous as Swami Vivekananda. He would then speak of it very often. He taught, "Be not afraid of anything. The moment you fear, you are gone. It is fear that is the cause of misery in the world." Question. Who was the young lad? Why did he run? What was the result of his running? What did the voice say? What did the lad do after hearing the voice? And what was the result? What was the lesson he learnt? 7th. A person once went to a sadhu and asked 2 questions. Why do people say God is everywhere? I see him nowhere. Therefore, show me where he is. Second, why is man punished for crime, since he is not a free agent but made to do as God wishes? Page 689. The sadhu took up a lump of earth and flung it at the head of the questioner. The man went to the judge and complained against the sadhu for having inflicted a severe pain in his head. The sadhu took up a lump of earth and flung it at the head of the questioner. The man went to the judge and complained against the sadhu for having inflicted a severe pain in his head. The judge had the sadhu arrested and brought up for trial. As the accused stood in the dock, the judge said, "Why, instead of answering the complainant's questions, you throw a lump of earth at him?" The sadhu replied, "The blow he received with the lump was an answer to his questions. He has told you that there is a pain in his head. Let him show me the pain, and I shall show him God. And why does he complain against me? For what I did was according to him, an act of God." The judge was pleased with the sadhu's defense and dismissed the case. The complainant left the court a sadder but a wiser man. Question. What were the questions the sadhu was asked? What did the sadhu do on hearing the questions? How did the sadhu explain that his action contained the answers to the questions? 8th. The Arabs who are not in cities live in the desert all the year round. They live in tents that can be put up and taken down easily and quickly, so that they may move from one place to another, seeking grass and water for their sheep, goats, camels, and horses. These desert Arabs eat ripe, sweet figs and also the dates that grow upon the palm trees. They have the finest horses in the world. An Arab loves his horse almost as much as he loves his wife and children. He never puts heavy loads upon him and often lets him stay in the tent with his family.